6 years ago, our entire world changed with 4 words: your child has cancer. Our son, just 2 years old, was diagnosed with a brain tumor. The shock hit us hard, but almost immediately friends, family, everyone seemed to rally to our side. Messages of love poured in, offers of support, people asking what they could do to help. When we shared that we'd be transferred to a major hospital for emergency surgery, the response was overwhelming. Within the next month, we went through not 1, not 2, but 5 surgeries, each one a grueling test of endurance for our little boy. We lived in the hospital for a month, not daring to think past each hour, each minute. Every post we put up was met with floods of supportive comments, heartfelt wishes, as you'd expect. But over time, as we moved from crisis to survival, as days blurred into weeks, people drifted away. The surgeries were only the beginning. Afterward, we began an exhausting journey of rehabilitation, rebuilding all the skills the tumor and surgeries had taken away. Our little boy had to learn to walk again, to talk, to connect with other kids. We took him to events, to parties, trying to let him enjoy what he could, even if he couldn't join in fully. And for a while, he was happy watching other kids, laughing, enjoying the simple moments he could grasp onto. But then came chemotherapy, and everything changed. You can't prepare for chemo. Nothing in the world can prepare you to watch your child go through something that brutal. You don't know how they'll react, and you're scared every day. But somehow our son, even through the sickness, the exhaustion, the nausea, handled it with a grace and curiosity I still can't comprehend. He kept asking questions, kept trying to learn, even when he was deathly ill. I marveled at his strength, at how he could still find moments of joy in the small things, how he made the hospital feel like normal. But with chemo came new rules and new risks. Every invite from friends or family became a risk. Soft play centres, out of the question. Birthday parties, couldn't do it. Parks, crowded venues, anywhere with too many people, no. Even a small cold or fever could be life-threatening. Infection was our constant, invisible enemy, and we had to say no to everything. As time went on, the invitations slowly stopped coming. It's understandable, I suppose. No one wants to keep hearing no when they reach out. But it started to build a wall around us, a wall we hadn't meant to create, but one we couldn't take down either. Before long, people stopped inviting us. Friends stopped messaging as often. We became more and more isolated. I look back now at old messages with people I used to talk to weekly, and I see myself reaching out again and again, asking how they're doing, just trying to keep in touch. But most of the time, there's no reply. Some people just can't cope when things get difficult, they back away. My own parents stopped visiting once chemo began. They couldn't handle seeing the reality of what was happening to their grandson. Over the past 3 years, they've seen him maybe 4 times. They never came to a single hospital appointment, not once. They always had an excuse: it was too far, or they didn't want to bring in germs. But those excuses built their own wall, a barrier that's kept them distant ever since. And here we are now. My son is about to turn 8 years old, and he's never had a real birthday party. Every year we talked about it, but who would he even invite? He doesn't have any friends his age. Not one. He talks about this boy who used to be at his school, a boy 4 years older who's older by secondary school. I don't think that boy ever knew how much my son looked up to him, how much he valued seeing him around. And now that boy is gone too. My son spends his days with support staff. He's a sweet, sensitive kid who has no one his age to connect with, no one to laugh with at recess, no one to grow up beside. It's devastating. Cancer has taken so much from him, things he'll never get back. Childhood friendships, birthday parties, the simple joy of being a kid, all stolen by an illness no child should ever have to face. The other kids he sees are polite, nice enough, but they aren't his friends. They don't see him the way he sees them. And it's not their fault, they're kids too. They don't know how to handle a child who's just lived a life so different from theirs. We know other kids in similar situations, kids who've gone through cancer and have come out the other side. They all struggle with friendships. It's as if cancer took more than their health. It took their ability to connect, to have the normal social experiences kids need. And the hardest part is knowing my son's forced into a kind of loneliness he doesn't understand. I can handle it for myself, but he shouldn't have to. Cancer has taken so much from us, but more than anything, I hate that it's stolen his chance to just be a kid. It's left him in a world of adults, a world that can't fully understand his struggles or his courage. And all I can do is be here, watching him navigate a loneliness no child should ever have to endure.